The truth of the matter is that, Elizabeth is, a politician like everybody else, and, she's got a voice that she wants to get out there. And, I understand that, and on most issues, she and I deeply agree. On this one, though, her arguments don't stand the test of fact and scrutiny.
Elizabeth. Does Elizabeth agree that you are a sexist pig? Well, that's what some people are saying, believe it or not. Developing tonight, new fallout from those remarks in the Yahoo News interview with President Obama. The president has been feuding with top Democrats like Senator Elizabeth Warren as they continue to block a trade deal that he wants passed. After he called out the senator by her first name. He called her Elizabeth, and that is her name. One of her Democratic colleagues suggested that his remarks were sexist.
I think the president was disrespectful to her by the way he did that. I think the president has made this more personal than he needed to.
Oh, Sherrod. The White House is having none of that. As spokesman Josh Earnest said, he thought an apology was in order.
So, Senator Brown is a stand-up guy, and I'm confident that after he's had a chance to take a look at the comments that he made yesterday, right, that he'll find a way to apologize.
You think? So was the president out of line? Is the senator who called him sexist out of line? And are they alone on this? Not exactly. It turns out the president of the National Organization of Women, Terry O'Neill, is siding with Senator Sherrod Brown, saying, quote, "I think it is sexist. I think the president was trying to build up his own trustworthiness on this issue by convincing us that Senator Warren's concerns are not to be taken seriously, but he did it in a sexist way." Dana Perino is the co-host of The Five and author of the new book, And the Good News Is, a big bestseller. Sexist pig or man who just uses first names sometimes?
What are they going to do when he refers to her as Hillary? But Hillary refers to herself as Hillary. It is Ready for Hillary. It's the Ready for Hillary campaign.
Also sexist.
If the National Organization of Women and any other Democrat could provide us this roadmap just so we could understand when are you allowed to use somebody's first name and when are you not. President Obama knows Elizabeth Warren. They're friends. She worked for him in the administration. And I don't think at all that it was sexist. I do think that the White House made a big mistake, though.
In what? In
that this morning when they woke up, they were faced with the headline in the New York Times that says President Obama was handed a major defeat, legislative defeat, by Democrats. That's the headline. So I think that they decided if we ask for an apology, we'll get more attention for that. That way, today, in this news cycle, we'll be better known as being a sexist than we are for being a failure. That's the kind of thinking that they do. I think that the White House could have said, we're not going to comment on Sherrod Brown's. Obviously, it's not sexist. But, Senator Claire McCaskill came out and defended President Obama. Right. Tell you what, why don't you go talk to her? They just choose weird fights to me.
What do you make of some on the left, like Brown and now, coming out and piling on this? Because to me, it reminded me of that now infamous moment with Senator Barbara Boxer when the general referred to her as ma'am. Remember this?
Yes, of course.
Do we have it? Watch.
Do me a favor. Could you say senator instead of ma'am?
Yes,
it's just a thing. I worked so hard to get that title, so I'd appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
Oh, what is it? Why?
I remember when General Petraeus one time asked me to call him Dave. It was like after the administration, when we were in the social setting. Yeah. So I tried, and I was like, General, because I couldn't do it. I mean, right. There are times when you use a title and the time.
That's how I feel about General Jack Keane. I can't do it.
You can't do it. No. So there's a thing. I just don't understand the victimization of the politics. So when President Obama called someone a thug, then is he a racist because somebody else says he's a racist?
Yes, they said it was racist, although somebody on NPR said it's not racist when a black person does it because they mean it lovingly, and when a white person does it, they...
I'm gonna see Sherrod Brown's sexism comment. I'm gonna raise it. I think he was being sexist because what he should have said is Elizabeth Warren was right. We beat President Obama on this trade deal because on the merits she was right. I don't personally think she was, but that's what I would have said.
But instead he
was like, oh, she
tried to be the knight in shining armor.
Because and to say that that she's upset because Obama used her first name, which I'm sure she is not upset.
If I were her,
I'd say no. I won this because I had a better argument. I was more persuasive, and I know how to do this. This is what I don't understand. Why doesn't she run for president?
Let me give you one. She may. Let me give you one final comment on Now, the champion of women's rights. When Bill Maher called Sarah Palin a very nasty word that begins with TW, I'll leave it at that. Now came out. They did denounce the use of the sexist word, but the communications director wrote on their blog, look, you're trying to take up our time getting us to defend your friend Sarah Palin. If you keep us busy defending her, we have less time to defend women's bodies from the onslaught of reproductive rights attacks and other threats to our freedom, safety, livelihood, etc. And
but you know what, Megan? I remember that very well. Now didn't come out proactively and defend Sarah Palin.
No, they were dragged there kicking and screaming. So you can call a Republican woman a TW word.
You can call
and that's fine.
You know the last thing you are allowed to be in America is a conservative woman.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right. But if you're a liberal Democrat, like a far-left Democrat, and they use your first name, that's offensive and sexist and must be stopped, even if it's the President of the United States who's a liberal Democrat.
You can always call me Dana.
And you can always call me Megan.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, I got to go. So when a black college professor recently suggested that white male students were the big problem at American colleges, it's really all about the white men, she said, her bosses said that was her right. But that's not what they're saying now. We'll have a fair and balanced debate on it. Plus, as hundreds gather in Washington to honor the police officers who made the ultimate sacrifice, the Baltimore mayor has touched off a brand new controversy. We'll show you what she said next.
There you saw that.